we've got an aborted start. And all the drivers putting their hands in the air, and we're going to go around one more time, but we are counting the laps right now. Round turn number 9, they come again. Our starter looking the field over. Hopefully we'll get a nice clean start this time. All eyes focused on our starter as he looks intently at this field over. They look like they're in pretty good order here, and he gives them the green flag, and away we go. And 22 cars going to try and go through a very narrow turn number 1, and they go in there 3 abreast. They're going to go in there 3 abreast in turn number 1. Somebody's got to give, and they go around 3 abreast. Incredible. And still nobody has an advantage. As they go around turn number 1 and into turn number 2, and finally they start going through turn number 2 in single file. What a tremendous start going into turn number 1, all 3 of them, and not one of them gave an inch. As they head around turn number 2, they try to sort themselves out. In fact, the smart drivers will more or less calm down now and find a position, and then as the race progresses, try to pick off drivers one at a time, and that's exactly what they're going to try and do now as they head up into turn 3 and 4 in single file. Oh, I shouldn't say that. In second spot, there's still door handle exchanging some paint up there. We've got some drivers off on the top of the hill, spinning out, and the dust kicking up over there in this last race of the day. We got quite a hectic scene over there in turn number 3 and 4 up on top of the hill. Two laps down now, 16 laps to go. Out in front is Dan Murphy, the Palm Springs driver, taking the advantage of the commotion up there on top of the hill. But now in second spot, your favorite coming into it, Craig Stanton, is in second spot and moving up. In third spot, car number 10, Brad Pierce, your fast qualifier, back in third. In fourth spot, car number 8, Randy Pauly from Los Angeles. In fourth. In fifth spot is car number 5. That is Rick Rose out of Irvine. In sixth spot, car number 81, Simon T. DeLuis out of Studio City. In seventh spot, it looks like that was car number 82, Billy Aldrich in Redwood City. And in eighth spot, car number 67, Earl Leopold out of Los Angeles. In ninth spot, car number 33, Dan Spathy from Lancaster, the local driver here in ninth spot. In 10th spot, car number 72, that is Jim Ellis from Redondo Beach. Jim Ellis working his way up into the top 10 on a very hectic first lap. Right now, though, in the lead, Dan Murphy from Palm Springs, but trying to chase him down is your favorite coming into the race, Craig Stanton out of Glendale. Down the back straightaway right now. In fact, it looks like Craig Stanton might have taken over the lead. Oh, one driver already showing some badly body work here. Paul Rothwell, in a tangle up there on top of the hill, has driven the car back into the paddock area. Car number 35, Paul Rothwell out of the race. Coming down the front straightaway again, it looks like Craig Stanton now has taken over the lead, with Dan Murphy now in second spot, Brad Pierce in third spot, and then came Randy Pauly still in fourth, and holding down fifth spot Rick Rose as the top 5 now starting to break themselves away a little bit from the rest of the pack. We're going to have a change of position here in second place. Not quite, not yet, but car number 3 and number 10 hooking up there, Dan Murphy and Brad Pierce, more or less banging door handles there in that battle for second place. Over the crest of the hill and down the back straightaway we go. It's Randy Pauly, and boy, I'm glad he's probably glad in the position where he is right now, because he's well clear of a quartet of drivers that are just pushing and shoving each other. It's cut and thrust all the way in that battle for second spot right now between, looks like Brad Pierce, Randy Pauly involved in that, Dan Murphy, and also Simon T. DeLuise involved in that terrific struggle for second place, as your leader now starts to assert his authority in that position. Craig Stanton, who's dominated Sports Renault racing here last month or two, in fact maybe for a long time, coming down the front straightaway here. Randy Pauly out in front, car number 14, Glendale. I'm telling you, the battle for second spot is now done in pairs, because it looks like Dan Murphy, Brad Pierce have squared off, and so have Rick Rose and Randy Pauly. They've squared off for a position in third, as in fifth spot is car number 8. They're in sixth, I should say in sixth spot, car number 67, Earl LeBold from Los Angeles, holding down sixth spot, and in seventh spot, car number 81. That is Simon T. DeLuise. Up in the booth with us, we've got the Formula Ford winner, Danny Hill Jr., and Danny, you qualified second behind Stan Towns, and yet he was really no factor in the race. You got a great start. What's the account for that?
Well, I didn't think they were going to throw the green at first, and then all of a sudden the green came out, and kept my foot buried in it, and took off.
It really was the difference in the race, because you were never headed after that. However, Schubert got close to you at one point, and then did you see him and then kind of say, hey, I better pick up the pace, or what was the incident involved there? Because he really closed in on you.
Well, my crew told me he was real close, and I saw him in my mirrors, and I said, well, I better turn the wick up just a little bit, and I just sort of held my breath around the racetrack and kept it going.
How'd the car handle for you? In fact, in an 18-lap event like that, I would think the tires would start going away. How did the car handle?
Well, actually, the rear tires worked real well. The front tires, I guess it was just because the track was so oily that we weren't able to get any traction up front.
You think maybe the super production cars might have slicked it up for you a little bit?
Oh, no question. There was a great big spots of oil all over the racetrack.
But flawless drive. Any problems on this racetrack at all? What turns kind of give you the most trouble?
I would have to say probably turn 1, 5, and 9, because they're fairly high-speed turns and a lot of oversteer at certain times, but it pushes real bad at the same time.
Formula Ford winner Danny Hill Jr., congratulations to you. I guess this is, in fact, you're hurting as far as the point standings. This really helps out, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, this has been a long time coming. We've been 2 years now, and this is our first national win. We've had a pretty bad year this year, but I think things are really starting to turn around for us.
I was wondering, another driver for Honda, Tom Hunter Jr., never heard from him in the race. What happened to Tom, do you know?
He hurt his motor, so he decided it'd be better to just go home. He was out there rooting for me. He was out there at the wall, cheering us on.
Danny Hill Jr., congratulations to you. Good luck to you in the future, and hopefully you can get work up in those point standings, get up there and get that invitation to Road Atlanta.
Well, that's what we're working for. Thank you.
All right, Danny Hill Jr., ladies and gentlemen. In fact, before we let you go, let's get a word for your sponsors and also that crew that, as we say, burns the midnight oil, keeping that engine together.
Oh yeah, well, I have to thank Racing Dynamics and Dick Bettendorf, Action Auto Security, International Sunroofs, and also Matt and Dave and Mike Bettendorf, my dad, and my best friend Bruce Lassoff.
All right, buddy. Danny Hill Jr. taking the winner in Formula Ford. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Danny Hill Jr., the winner of Formula Ford. Hopefully that'll get him back on track to get him down there for the Road Atlanta finals. And, of course, those Formula Ford contests at Road Atlanta are just awesome things to see. Still Craig Stanton out in front, and now holding down second spot is car number 10 now, as he's taken over second place. That is Brad Pierce, your fast qualifier, the Westminster driver. He's taken over second spot. In third spot now is car number 3, Dan Murphy from Palm Springs. And in fourth spot now is still battling out is Simon T. DeLuise and Randy Pauly. Craig Stanton's, his qualifying time, a 1:40.5. Let's see if his racing laps are any better or any worse than his qualifying times. But Craig Stanton starting to more or less hold his position in the lead. However, not letting him get away too far ahead is your fast qualifier, Brad Pierce from Westminster. He's got a bead in on Craig Stanton right now as they come around turn number 9. Stanton had a bigger lead than that a couple of laps ago, and Brad Pierce is trying to pick up the pace a little bit. Here they come down the start-finish straight. A 1:42 flat. He is about 1.5 seconds behind his qualifying speed. So Craig Stanton is, and that's the reason why he's being caught a little bit by those 4 drivers right behind him. As Paulie, Simon T. DeLuise, Brad Pierce, all doing battle back there in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Holding down 6 spots still is car number 67. That is Earl Lebold from Los Angeles. And then in 7th spot, car number 81. That is Simon T. DeLuise. In 8th spot, car number 82, Billy Aldrich. Next lap around, we'll try and get you the top 10 once again. Craig Stanton still holding on to about a 1.5 second lead over your fast qualifier, Brad Pierce. Craig Stanton out of Glendale, Pierce out of Westminster. Holding down the lead still. We'll try and get you the top 12 as they came by this time around. Holding down the lead was Craig Stanton. In 2nd spot, car number 10, Brad Pierce. In 3rd, car number 3, Dan Murphy, driver out of Palm Springs. Then in 4th spot, car number 5, that's Rick Rose from Irvine. And in 5th spot, car number 8, Randy Paulie out of Los Angeles. Then in 6th spot, Earl Lebold. In 7th spot, car number 82, Billy Aldrich from Redwood City. In 8th spot, car number 33, that's Dan Spathy, the local driver from Lancaster, and he's moved his way up into the top, not only the top 10 now, he's up in the top 8. Then in 9th spot, car number 81, that is Simon T. DeLuise, Studio City, so he's dropped off the pace. Simon T. DeLuise dropping back in the 9th spot. And then in 10th spot, car number 72, that is Jim Ellis from Redondo Beach. In 11th spot, car number 2, Leo Parenta, the Orange County driver from Laguna Niguel. And in 12th spot, car number 75, Tom Miserandino from Encino, I should say. Mighty Mike and Irvine Meadows Amphitheater, his sponsors. As Craig Stanton, your leader, comes by again, holding about a 2nd lead now over Brad Pierce. Pierce picking up the pace a little bit. Each lap he picks up a wheel length here, a fender there, and he gets a little bit closer to your leader. And if you're in Craig Stanton's crew, you might want to alert Craig that Brad Pierce is coming up on him pretty strong. We're halfway through the race. Halfway through the race. 9 laps down, 9 laps to go. Opening up that gap now, once again, Craig Stanton opening up a 1.6-second lead now over your fast qualifier, Brad Pierce. Amazingly enough, all these cars, like I said, the top 6 qualifiers all qualifying within 1 mile an hour of each other, more or less pretty much holding their own position right now. Pretty close, but not really competitive enough with each other. Only battle really in the top 5 right now is for 4th and 5th spot between Rick Rose, car number 5, and Randy Pauly, car number 8. A good battle back there for position. Bob Urich, Paulus Verdes, and Ken McNichol out of Garden Grove, 94 and 7. Cars number 94 and 7 doing battle as they head around turn number 1. Car number 10 got himself in some trouble. Brad Pierce from Westminster. Your fast qualifier has done something wrong on the track. We didn't get a report of what exactly happened, but he's dropped way back. He's down in about 5th spot right now. And now opening up a big lead, Craig Stanton. He's a 6.4-second lead now over car number 3, Dan Murphy. So evidently Brad Pierce got involved in a little bit of a spin, and now he's dropped back a couple of positions. And Randy Pauly trying to fight his way up to the leaderboard. Car number 8 takes a little bit of an excursion off the racetrack and gets back on again. Oh boy, 5 and 8 getting really together here. They made contact up there up into turn number 3. Randy Pauly and Rick Rose hitting each other. You're going to see a little bit of body damage on those cars when they come back into the pit. Kicking up some dirt out there in turn number 9, car number 27, F. Michael Dabini from Danville, spun out there, and that's red, white, and blue. Actually, it's red, white, blue, and dirt now as he gets back on the track. Well, picking up one position on that last lap, Brad Pierce from Westminster dropped back about 3 or 4 positions back into 5th. He's now worked his way back up into 4th. Getting some radical driving out there now as that battle for second spot continues. continues to heat up. Car number 5, Rick Rose, got his nose in on car number 10, Brad Pierce, and they had contact up there on top of the hill again. So these guys are really banging door handles out there as they exchange paint in that battle for second place. Meantime, the guy that's surviving all this and with a big smile on his face and doesn't have to face the melee that's going on behind him, Craig Stanton, car number 14, big lead. Oh, unfortunate luck for Rick Rose from Irvine, car number 5. He's going to get a black flag next time around. So Rick Rose in that red and white sports Renault is going to get the black flag this next time around. The Arco Tool and Equipment Team Lodine driver, car number 5, we understand is going to get a black flag this next lap. Craig Stanton with a very big lead now, about 7 seconds over second place as he comes down the front straightaway here and opening up a little bit of a gap now between himself and that battle for third now. And that is car number 5 now. Or excuse me, car number 8 in second spot, Randy Pauly. Then behind him, car number 3, Dan Murphy. And behind him is going to be car number 10, Brad Pierce. And back behind him in 5th spot, getting the black flag, car number 5, Rick Rose out of Irvine. In 6th spot, car number 67 coming by here, Earl LeBold out of Los Angeles. In 7th spot, car number 82, and that is Billy Aldrich from Redwood City. And then in 8th spot, car number 33, that is Dan Spathy, the local driver from Lancaster, still holding on 8th spot. 9th spot, car number 81. That is Simon T. DeLuis. And in 10th spot, car number 72. And that is Jim Ellis out of Redondo Beach, sponsored by Racecrafters and KBS Engineering. That is your top 10. In 11th spot, car number 75. That is Tom Miserandino out of Encino. In 12th spot, car number 2. And that is Leo Parenta out of Laguna Niguel. Here comes 13th place down here. That's going to be car number 94, Bob Yarrick out of Palos Verdes. And behind him, car number 7, Ken McNichol, holding down 14th place. And in 15th place, car number 80, and that is Eric Swenson, the Garden Grove driver. In 16th place, car number 27, that's F. Michael DeBaney still holding down 16th place. In 17th spot, car number 78, and that is Ralph Wintrode from Newport Beach. And in 18th position, car number 53, Peter Hughes out of San Diego. Top 4 drivers, however, are making their way around turn number 1 right now. Or I should say the top 5. And going out of turn number 2 is your leader, Craig Stanton, with about a 7-second lead. And that battle now for second spot is pretty much dispersed as everybody's got about a 2-second lead over everybody else in that battle for second spot between those 4 drivers. Your leader going by the start-finish straight, with Randy Pauly running in second spot. 2 laps to go now. 2 laps to go in this Sports Renault competition. Leader Craig Stanton starting to come up and lap a couple of the drivers. In fact, he will be coming down here to get the signal. 1 more lap to go. And car number 14, Craig Stanton, will have himself a victory. On the last lap, and car number 14, Craig Stanton, taking it around the crest of the hill and down the back straightaway for the last time. We're on the last lap, the last race of the day. Out of turn number 9 he comes, is car number 14, Craig Stanton, the dominating force in the Sports Renault competition this year. And the Glendale driver does it again, even though he qualified 4th fastest. He's going to come down for a very easy win, and there's the checkered flag. Craig Stanton gets the easy win, and coming out here for second spot will be car number 8, Randy Pauly from Los Angeles. He will take second spot. Third spot will go to car number 3, up on the leaderboard all day long here, Dan Murphy from Palm Springs. In 4th spot, car number 5, Rick Rose. And then comes car number 10, Brad Pierce, finishing up there as well. Behind them comes car number 67, Earl